I wanted to say real quick to circle back because I didn't give an opening statement in the last game that we played. It was a long week. I wanted to get our kids back on the bus. But I want to make sure that I say that, those 2 games, they were tough games against really good teams that played really hard. South Carolina was the better team the day we played them, and Ole Miss was a tougher team the day we played them. But those are the games that are going to make us better. And we just have to approach it that way. You learn a lot when you fail. And I think the week, in a lot of ways, taught us many, many lessons that we wouldn't have been able to learn and ways that we're going to be able to grow that we wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Now, I wish we would have learned it before the second half. But I think today the response that I saw from our team and the way that we finished the game, because we had a similar response at Ole Miss, but we just had dug ourselves too deep of a hole, was huge in terms of the growth that we need from here on out to the end of the season. And also, I have to say the crowd was amazing. So thank you to Commodore Nation, to the people that came out. I know it's super icy. My daughter wiped out in our driveway today. So I know we're all still dealing with it, but that was an enormous uplifting thing to have when we've been out on the road for so long, to have such a crowd. There's kids still out there waiting for them to come sign autographs. That's the kind of environment we need and we really want. So thank you for making that special today.
All right, we'll go ahead and take questions for players. We'll start with Lana Morris. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mikayla, Shea's just kind of talking about everything you guys went through the last week with the 2 games. Just able to get a win today. How mentally tough is this team?
I would say we're being tested in so many different ways. Like, we didn't expect to be gone for a week, not see Nashville. But we just stuck together through thick and thin. We told each other we have to be grateful for the moment. At least we have beds, we're safe, we're surrounded by, family, love, and we're here to play basketball, so we have to play basketball. So those 2 games were tough for us, but then today we decided to come out and just continue to be strong and just continue to stick together. I think that was the main thing.
Charles, go ahead.
It's a question for Makurat. I mean, you haven't had a ton of time this year, but you came in today and handled it and doing what you did. How do you feel today coming in and giving 9 points on the floor to help this team out?
I mean, obviously, it's a good feeling after, not playing a lot for longer periods of time, but it feels good. It feels good to be on the floor with, people like Mikayla. It's easy. It's easy to play with her. So it was a good night. We needed energy, and I feel like the bench brought it, so I'm glad I could be a part of it.
Elena?
Aga, you're talking about the energy off the bench. Can you just kind of talk about how big Ava Black was today?
I feel Ava is showing us every day during practices, she's bringing energy every day, so we expected that from her. When we got on the floor, we knew it's our job to just bring it back to life. So we did our job.
Mikayla, what was the switch in the second half? I mean, the first half was what it was, but in the second, just came out and took it on your shoulders and ended with 30. Let me ask you, how do you just do that?
I couldn't tell you the answer, but I just think it's my competitiveness and not wanting to lose and just putting my body on the line for this team. I'll run through a brick wall for this team and do what I'm needed of from them. So I think getting a couple points was good for our energy, but then also trying to find my teammates today. I think they were open around the 3, so continue to get them involved, and I have the utmost confidence in them that they're going to make shots, so giving them the ball.
Sasha and Justine also had huge games. Sasha particularly in the second half, after maybe struggling. Could you maybe speak to maybe what you guys were telling to them or what you guys as a team continue to work on as you went into the second half?
I mean, I think one thing we learned is how important our post presence has to be. It makes the game a whole lot easier. And I just continue to tell Sasha, nobody can push you off the block. We're going to give you the ball. It may not be the first time, but you got to still post. And she's really took that to heart. And I'm going to continue to look and give her the ball. And then Justine as well, she does what she does. She's a sniper. So you got to find her on the floor, continuing to give her confidence because I think she's the best shooter in the country. So I'm going to give her the ball every time.
All right. Thank you so much.
Good job, you too. I'll text you, but I can't see you.
All right. Now we'll go ahead and open up the floor for Coach Ralph. Go ahead and start Lana Morris.
Yeah, they brought up the bench as well. Just what did you see from Aga and Ava today?
I think I knew we needed something, and I think that's what practice is for, right? So as a coach, you pay attention to what's happening in practice, and We haven't had the best practices over the last week. I would say, there's been a lot going on, and we looked tired. And I knew that Aga and Ava had been practicing really well. And even if they could come in and give us a different level of energy, that would help everyone else, right? And they came in and did way more than that, which was really cool. But it's not like we haven't seen that. So I knew exactly what I was going to get. It's why Aga went in Ole Miss really early. Like, I knew what we were going to get because they've been practicing really well. Ava rebounds the ball. She'll throw her body all over the place. Aga, similar to Justine, can shoot it, but she's also pretty versatile, a really good passer, will flash and move on the floor. And especially in the first half, it just felt like we were standing around a lot on offense. When you do that and you don't defend, that's a recipe for, what you saw at the end of the first half. Not great basketball and kind of digging yourselves a hole. But we were able to avoid what had happened the game before because of the kids that came off the bench and gave us such great energy and just made basketball plays on both ends of the floor. That helped uplift everybody else's spirit. And when the ball moves a little bit, you get some rebounds, you get the crowd into it. Now we can take a deep breath and continue to find our identity.
Charles?
Coach, I want to ask you, what took a while to get the inside like it turned out in the second half? I know the first half there was a ton of threes shot.
Yeah.
With only maybe, I think, 3 hit. Then after half, it's bare to go basketball. When Sasha gets rolling, things happen.
Yeah.
And, what took a while to get that going?
Honestly, you probably should ask the kids that. I don't know. I know that I got in their butts a little bit, and maybe that helped. I think, too, we just have to keep working on it. And so we only had a day. I thought that was a difference for us in the second half against Ole Miss, and we only really had a day to continue to work on it. But when we get paint touches, and it doesn't even have to be Sasha. It can be some of our bigger guards. It can be Mitch. When we get the ball inside and out, it just opens the floor up more. Everybody on the floor has to be a threat to score. We can't just give the ball to Aubrey and Mikayla and think that they're going to make superhero plays every time down the floor. So even if we give it to Sasha and Mitch and they miss a layup or we turn it over every third time, I'm okay with that because I know just them touching the ball is going to energize our team, right? It's going to energize our defense. They're going to want to work harder the next time down the floor so they get another touch. They're going to rebound the ball. They're taking up some space in the paint and getting fouls and ones that helps us set up our defense. Right? So just that is making us a better basketball team. We'll continue to work on it, but we need a little bit of time to do so.
Rhea, go ahead.
Defensively in the first half, it seemed like you guys struggled. You run into it with the ball, and gaps are opening at the paint, gaps are opening around the three-point line. Could you speak to maybe what you changed?
Yeah.
How you guys were able to give up a lot less?
You said that so sweetly. We struggled massively. We struggled massively in the first half. And we had worked on our ball screen coverage. Our goal initially was to do some switching and just kind of build a wall so that we could keep their point guard out of the lane. And then we didn't do that. We were putting 2 on the ball for too long. She was still getting around our post players and finding seams. We weren't on our ball lines and in our gaps. We weren't executing our defense, which gave them easy buckets and put pressure on us on the offensive end. So similar to what we did at Ole Miss, we just loaded up the paint and played a little bit of zone. Our zone is kind of a matchup, so it's still the same thing. And I don't think my kids even know that. It's still kind of like man-to-man, but we were in the lane. And we gave up some threes. We gave up a couple offensive rebounds, but they didn't get wide open layups from their point guard or their big kids that were rolling, right? So just having a couple of different looks, I think, helped us just settle down a little bit. But we've got to do a better job when we know what kids, players, personnel, and teams want to do of taking that away from them right out of the gate before some of the things that happened in the first quarter happen.
Elena?
Yeah, I mean, you're just kind of talking about some of the struggles. You all played Ole Miss 2 days ago. I mean,
Yeah.
do you feel like some of that was fatigue to start the game?
I mean, it probably was, but I can't allow that, right? I can't. There probably was some. I'm sure there was some, but we can't. We can name it, but we can't allow it. We can't be a team that gives excuses. And whether you're fatigued or not, everybody is tired right now. We're all going through something, right? They get to play basketball, and we're taking great care of them. We've got to figure out how to do it when we're tired, because that's no different than what we're going to see in the NCAA tournament, right? We're going to have to play two really good basketball teams in 3 days. Play, day off, play, right? That's just what it is. So that's how we treated it. And I think they did respond really well today. And I think also we have to do a better job. I have to do a better job of making sure that we have them prepared so that the dips that we're having right now, we don't have throughout the rest of the season. That falls on me and our coaching staff. And I think we've started to figure some things out over the last couple days. But certainly the week that we just had gave us the adversity that we needed to learn. And now we got to take those lessons and apply them.
Charles?
With the season getting later and later and approaching tournament time, I want to ask you on bench play, bench production, how important is it to, continuously find new pieces to contribute, like Black and Makurat today? As we get closer to tournament time, Mikayla and everybody playing 40 minutes a game, they're going to need breathers.
Yeah.
So how important just is that from now until the end of the season to continuously find those depth pieces?
Yeah, I mean, it's important for a couple reasons. You said it, right? It's a lot of minutes, but Mikayla and Aubrey, they don't like coming out. So they like playing, which is helpful, but we've got to give them breaks when we can, right? But the other part of it, it's nice to have kids that come off the bench with confidence. So today was a huge thing to me for our team, but also for Aga and Ava. Ava's done it a couple times to be able to know, this is my job. This is what I can do because I've done it before. So it's different when you get into March and you're like, hey, good luck. You haven't played all year, but hopefully you can give us something good today. Finding kids that can do what they did today. Mitch is a good example of that as well. Big moments during this season. They know what their job is, and now they're going to continue to focus and have confidence because they've done it. Not because we hope they can do it, but today they changed the game for us. So they've done it, and now we'll just keep building on that. That is huge. That's 2 more kids we can count on when we really need to.
Raya and Elena.
I want to ask about Jackalinga. Not a big box score, but she drew 2 very critical back-to-back offensive fouls. Could you maybe speak to what you feel like she continues to give this team, even if she isn't necessarily filling up the box score?
Yeah, another big, versatile player. And like what I love about Jackalinga is that she just wants to win. So she came from a program that went to a Final Four, and she has that winning experience. And whatever I ask her to do, she'll do it. And she'll do it to the best of her ability until you have to drag her off the floor. Because you can see, like, we're asking her to do a lot. And it doesn't matter if she shoots it. It doesn't even matter if she touches it all the time. But she'll go after rebounds. She'll defend. She'll run hard. She'll do everything that we ask her to do because she just wants to be part of something great, and she wants to contribute to winning. And the role that she plays here for us is different. We're able to move her around the floor a lot, which I love for her, and I think she's really enjoying. But that's the kind of stuff that you need on a great team. It's like there's kids that are going to get shine. But you need those kids that are willing to do the blue-collar stuff that aren't going to get it, but that value that and own it because they know it's going to help the team win. And Jacqueline is a perfect example of that kind of player.
And final question, Elena Morris, go ahead.
Yeah, how often are you working on those last-second plays? And can you kind of talk about how big of a play that was for Aubrey to bring some momentum going into the fourth quarter?
Yes. They work on that half-court shot every day at the because I'm always like. Every now and then I'll make a bet with them about something, hey, if you make this, we won't have to do this. If you make that. But we work on it enough. We need to work on it more. But I love the momentum shift. And, we needed Mikayla to take a little bit of a break. I also love that she did it after she just turned it over, right? And was she the one that fouled? Yeah, turned it over and fouled. But that's who Aubrey is. She's going to come down and make a play on the other end of the floor. That was a huge shot. But those are the kinds of shots that kid makes all the time. Does she not? Some of the most incredible, she makes it look so easy. But she does a bunch of stuff before practice, after practice. She's a trick shot kind of kid, So it wasn't surprising to me at all that went in. I'm just glad she got it off.
All right, thank you for your time, everybody.
Thank you, guys.